So the one thing I noticed about your first album is there was a lot of Crip themes all throughout, and I think one of the verses was also talking about how your mom moved you out of South Central to Palmdale to get away from the gang situation. Like, how bad did it get? Like, how deep were you into it, into the whole Crip thing?
Um, okay, like I was born in LA, but as a child, like around 5, we moved to Mississippi. Um, then like I came back at like 11, and that's usually the gang entering stage is around 13. You usually in LA, a good full-blooded LA boy is usually from an authentic gang around 13. He's like the real deal. So like, like when I got back to LA, everything was coming at me real fast. Uh, my favorite color was red. Red's a beautiful color. Blue is dull. Like what the fuck around with a bunch of blue on for? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get it. And them cats was calling me a slob, and they was saying they was gonna jump on me because I had on this colored jacket. I had to put everything together and figure out what was going on best I could. You know what I'm saying? So um, when I got there, I realized that they had these ranks for respect. There was there was the there was all kind of different people in the hood. You had the Christian people, but I felt like if people thought I was a Christian, they was gonna get me wrong. They was gonna think they really could slap me and I was gonna turn the other cheek. Like I'd be nice to you, but let's not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? So even though my parents was Christians, I didn't want to get ran over. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't realize God would magically work things out where to the point where you don't even have to live like that. But I just it just looked like certain people in the street will run over you. So there was that, and then there was regular people, the regular civilians, and then there was wannabes, guys that wanted to be or portrayed the gangsters but actually wasn't. Then there was the actual gangsters, and I realized the actual gangsters got respect, and this, that, and the other. So as a little boy, I'm not, a little boy wants to play football. He wants to do everything dangerous. Little boy thinks he's a cowboy superhero. He grew up a little bit, so I was a little boy, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in South Central, I'm not no punk. I don't want to live no life of guys thinking that they could just run over me all day, every day. So whatever I thought I had to be to get respect, that's what I wanted to be. So, a lot of gangs jump you in, you know what I'm saying? But I stayed in the H-Ray gangster neighborhood, and them dudes, I never saw nobody get jumped in. It's just like, they just tell you, hey, come hang out, you in. And when it's time to do something, it's just time to do something. You know what I'm saying? So I was the only child, so I saw brotherhood and the camaraderie. Uh, I liked the walk, I liked the talk, I liked it all. So I was in it real quick. I started claiming the neighborhood, and everything was good. I was in elementary school. Our neighborhood, the H-Ray gangsters shared that elementary school with the Hoover Crips, and at that time the two gangs was like getting along at that time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't even know what's going on in LA right now. I've been gone. So that school was cool. When I went there, everybody was homies. We all played basketball, and if we fought, it was just all love. It was just neighborhood existence. But then I had to go to Horseman, and the H-Ray gangsters have an arch rival called the Rollin 60's. You know what I'm saying? And this school is like 2 blocks, like the H-Ray hood, kind of big, kind of go from Western to Gage to Normandy on up to the back part of Century. It's like this back west hood of H-Ray. They expanded over the years. But then 83rd Street is like the center of it all, LA, whatever, got the number street. So it's like But 2 blocks from Western and 69th where I stayed, they was bussing in these kids, and these kids was coming from the west side. Those were all rolling 60s. So even though my hood was 2 blocks away, I'm in a school full of rolling 60s. Gangs got little nicknames for their rivals. So the rolling 60s called the H-Race Tramps, and the Tramps called the H-Rays called the 60s Sissies. Like, they'll walk up to a dude, hey, you from Sissy? And then usually a rolling 60 get offended and he'll do whatever, or vice versa. That's what they do. So Salt and Pepper had this song out called Tramp. You know what I'm saying? And the rolling 60s love that song. Doom, doom. What you call me, Tramp? They'd cross out at 83rd Street on the wall and they'd write, what you call me, and put Tramp, then put 6-0. And it was this big rivalry when I got to the city. Like if I went to jail and there was a blood and a rolling 60 in a cell, I'd possibly get along with the blood, and me and the 60s would probably go at it. That's how bad it was. So it's like, I went to Horace Mann, and it was just okay to be a rolling 60, and it was just okay to disrespect my neighbor. And I was sitting there like, I had this dude like named Junior and this dude named Two Tone. They started like, I was their little homie. They started like taking me in, rolling, helping me out, whatever. And I started having love for the hood, as they call it. So I wasn't tripping, but I just noticed how everybody was, yeah, give me Tramp dollars and, Tramp this and Tramp that. And so one day this dude, he was walking around to everybody. They call it set tripping. And he was asking everybody in class where they was from, And this whole, everybody, it was just cool to claim rolling 60. Like, it was like a fad or a trend. Like, it was like mainstream to claim rolling 60. It's even in Ice Cube's movie, they get all kind of mentions. They, it's like, but, boom. So this dude was walking aisle to aisle. He was like, where you from? And these dudes, they was like, West Side, Rolling 60. Everybody was just saying they was from Rolling 60. And he was working he was like, that's right. He was working his way down the aisle, asking everyone, where you from? West Side, Rolling 60. Yeah. I'm sitting there, I'm about to throw up. I'm way over on the other end, back part. And he walks up, and he's walking up there, everybody, West Side, Rolling 60. I'm like, dude, please. I'm not going to be a butt, but I'm begging I'm like, please don't ask me nothing. He walks up to me. He like, where you from? I said, A-Tray motherfucking gangster Crip. My dad say, you could hear a mouse piss on cotton. I thought he was gonna fight right there, and he was like, all right. And he went and sat down. And like, you're supposed to get down once the information is given. But he didn't do that, So now, I was ready to jump him right there, but now I think I might have made a mistake because I done told him where I was from and he ain't doing nothing. My butterflies is going crazy. I don't know what's up now, So we go to lunch. He started telling all these rolling 60s, man, that dude's right, that dude's right. So nobody jumps me right away. I'm ready to go, but like, they go get like the biggest rolling 60 at the school, like in the 9th grade. I'm only in the 7th. I just checked in this place, And this dude he done flunked a couple of times. This is like a grown man in junior high school. He like buff, dog. And he walks over to me, and I noticed one thing LA taught me, like I had this dude, I got some other hood story, but before all of this, I had this dude just punch me one time. Like kind of like what's that dude name in Friday? That said, oh, your bike over here, Debo. I got Debo
yeah.
before. We all know, everybody in LA got a Debo, and they like, every hood got a Debo. That's just, that's common. So I had this dude and when you get knocked out like that, you never forget it. I come out of my class, this dude standing there. He's like, hey, cuz. I'm walking out of the bell ring. I walk out of my class. He's like, hey, I'm like walking. He got his tank top on. His arms is all swole up. He like, cuz I heard you was from Tramps. So like right away, I punched this dude like 6 times, fast as I can. Wow, la, la. And then I run like hell. So he can't really see I know he can kick my ass, but right now he can't, like, even though he's bigger than me, I punched him first. And like, like he can get me, but he got to deal with his vision's kind of blurred. He's a little off right now, you know what I'm saying? So I takes off. And I ran home. And I was like, Dad, I'm not going to that school down there. We talking about the whole school it just don't make sense. Like there's school and then there's life and death. And society don't realize the life and death situation I'm going. So before I go down there and die, I'll just hang out in the streets and be an uneducated man. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand what I'm going through, Dad. This ain't the tarantulas or the scorpions that was back in Texas that had their own jackets. We talking about kids with machine guns. This is some shit, Daddy. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just told him like, Dad, I can't go to Horseman. I even got a song called I Can't Go to Horseman. It's an interpolation of I Want to Be Your Man, Roger and Zapp. I'm like, I can't go to Horseman. I can't go to Horseman. So, I told I don't think my dad understood. I didn't complain. I just went out in the street and handled mine. And so my dad like, how come you can't go to that school? I'm like, Dad, there's a gang of Rollin 60's up there. I mean, like, they know I'm from A-Trade, just and that and the other. I'm like, I can't pull 365 days out of that place. Everybody handled their life. Daddy went to work, handled his life, came home, paid the bills. Mom went to work, handled her life. I went to school and handled my life. I didn't want to come home, this, that, and I went out there and handled mine and came back home. But once he realized what was going on and where we was at, then I didn't tell him to. He just said, okay. He had the money. He didn't know it was that bad. You know what I'm saying? So he bought a place up in Palmdale. You know what I'm saying?